Anyway, we're gonna go ahead and jump into game one here of maybe the most important series of the group, based on the players and the games left to be played. I mean, this is a pretty important series for both of these players. Major wins here, and all he has left to play is Jon Snow. Not to discredit anyone, but Major's definitely favored there. Minigun wins here. It puts him up 2-0.
And more importantly, Minigun loses here. He has to beat Bolt. That's not a good situation.
Yeah, who wants to be? Yeah, what a bad situation. You have to be Bolt in order to have a chance. That's not good, you know. Anyway,
introduce our players, Steven.
Spawning in at the bottom right, representing Team Mexico, we have Root Juanito. I can't keep doing the same Mexican intro. I'll sing it.
Yeah, it's very repetitive.
I should have made like a Pokemon rhyme, like the Team Rocket thing. For Major, the bottom right, spawning at the bottom left, currently coming off of his victory, 2-1 over Jon Snow, we have, again from Team Root, Minigun. Wow.
How both of them qualified, or was one of them invited?
Major was invited after Scarlet ditched me because she said I wasn't cool enough, apparently.
Really?
Scarlet had wrist issues. She pulled out of WEC too. I don't even know what that is, but
a tournament in China, pretty big actually.
Oh.
Not as big as the Destiny one, but pretty big.
So yeah, we have yeah, Scarlet pulled out, so I was struggling to find another invite real fast. I actually extended an invite to Bunny, but apparently he's too busy doing the meta show with Artosis to plan my tournament. But Bunny said he wasn't able to do it because he was just getting home and whatnot, so I mean that's fine. So yeah, Major was logically my next choice because he's got such a reliable history of staying on teams and showing up to tournaments on time. So I go ahead and reached out to Major next.
It will be funny actually. Like he gets like a last minute invite. Oh, that pop! Ooh, almost dying.
Really
Major,
close.
like being a last minute invite. Imagine if he goes like all the way and wins the tournament. It would be pretty sick.
Yeah, for sure.
And so far he's done well. I mean, beating Port in the opening match very convincingly. Now he's up against the Protoss. He's shown a lot of strong form against Protoss.
I mean, when your first match is against Polt and you absolutely wreck them, I mean, like, I want to say that's a good confidence boost, but I mean, let's be real. Like, Major's a pretty weird guy. I don't even know if like he operates off of like confidence or whatever. His mind functions in very interesting ways.
Yeah, to say the least. Quite the understatement here. The probe was stayed out on the map hidden for Minigun here. Does he try? Oh, actually.
Oh my god.
He's gonna find it.
Oh! He pulled back! I think he even clicked up to where he would have ran into it, but he pulled back. Wow.
So that's gonna be a confirmation here. Oh, or not? Major pulled back? Is the probe barely gonna make it through? It's very important to see if the TN keeps on mining gas behind the initial 100 that you need to get to make both the Reaper and then the reactor, because then it means there's gonna be a factory, which in this case was indeed confirmed by Minigun, so he's going to be able to prepare for any kind of Widow Mine or Hellion or like some kind of aggression at some point.
For sure. So that'll mean what, like a probably fast robotics facility for Minigun then?
Yeah, usually you get 3 Stalkers in a row out of your gateway while Warp Gate is upgrading, so that as it finishes you can morph your gate and get a 4th one, so you can defend against everything with 4 Stalkers early on. A lot of Marines, Medivac, Widow Mines, Hellions, everything. And then you get the Robo, obviously, either after the first Stalker or the second one, to make sure you can get observers on time and have detection. You're gonna learn a lot with me, Steven.
I'm so excited. 3 Stalkers. Well, I'm writing all this down in my notebook, so I'm ready for tomorrow.
Who are you casting with tomorrow? You don't even know that, goddammit.
I'm focused on today. I've got today with you, baby. Why would I be focused on what's coming tomorrow? I think tomorrow's Nathanius, so I'm gonna have to do analysis there. Jeez. No, I'm just kidding. I'm just kidding.
He's like watching and preparing his excuse not to cast.
Oh, jeez. Oh, he just messaged me on Skype. Can't make it. No, I'm just kidding. 2-minute delay, right?
Yeah.
Minigun is grabbing that robotics facility. We do see a Forge coming online as well. Probably going to use that for upgrades because that's what Forges do. 3 Stalkers coming out just as Todd predicted. Wow, that game knowledge.
Yeah, and the thing is, they line up very well with when Warp Gate finishes. So if you need to, like if you're being attacked, which is likely since he saw a factory, you can get a 4th one, or even a Zealot, but Stalkers are better. And Major, I wonder where it drops though on this map. I haven't seen all that many TVTs, and it really feels like more difficult than on other maps, because you know, like once you get into the base, you're very committed with well, actually this Reaper 2 is going to be committed here as it enters, most likely going to die. But yeah, like where do you drop? You have to go very far, then Photon Overcharge is going to be able to defend. So Terrence usually kind of evacuates. It's a little bit weird, you know. So he might do Widow Mines into the natural,
Yep.
and Marines into the main.
And we do see those Widow Mines being sent in that medevac, and we do see Marines moving across the map. So it's very possible that that's what we're about to see. Looks like that medevac is headed over. Yep, its destination is directly behind the natural there.
Chad wants to defend with Photon Overcharge in the natural and Stalkers in the main. The thing is, his supply block right now, and soon is not going to be anymore, but he definitely needs a 4 Stalker and some sick kiting slash stuff against Major's Marines here.
Ouch! Losing a couple probes, probably unnecessarily. But I mean, still, pretty good defense there. He saw the mine coming almost immediately. These Marines probably not gonna do too much. Chad kites the
You can trade very well with Stalkers if you don't kite well enough, and there is no second Photon Overcharge too.
Oh, that mine might... No, not gonna get a hit.
Yeah, it's gonna prevent a lot of mining time though for Minigun, which is not ideal. And behind this, we see Major actually adding on a Raven. I don't know if you watched the Nation Wars. When France played against Mexico, the supposed Terran sniper was Lil Bo from my team, which was sent up against Major. They played actually on this map in a best of 1, and I remember that game very well. And probably the most hardcore viewers out there will remember it. Oh, the mules, by the way, were misclicked the natural of Major. And now they're still misclicked, they're not doing shit. But yeah, to continue to my points, having a Raven like Major does now, when he's gonna go up to 4 medivacs and tries to go for a Doom drop into the natural, and there is only usually a few Stalkers ready to snipe those medivacs, you use the PDD, it gives you enough time to drop, and then once you drop, you start basically demolishing those Stalkers and taking out probes, or maybe in the Nexus very quickly, while he's securing his own third base, whereas the Protoss, you're really gonna struggle taking your third base. And also in terms of observers, if you look at it, Chad already has 3. He's gonna rely only on those to be able to defend well and keep on upgrading and taking. If they start dying because there is a Raven, he's gonna be in a lot of trouble.
For sure, we do see a medevac going in to the main base of Chad. Mothership Core already casting the Photon Overcharge there. Another drop that Major's kind of playing with at the top, but Minigun's doing a decent job defending against that. We do see the scouting factory lifted off. Stimpack done in 10 seconds.
Yeah, you see Major going for the third base here, not too late, at like 10-20. Behind this, he's gonna start having a whole bunch of medivacs. He's already on 3, 4. So I'm pretty sure we're gonna see what I talked about. And if you look at the third base, at the natural, sorry, of Minigun, he has a cannon here and 4 Stalkers. Like if you use a PDD and then drop in there, by the time the other units will have rejoined this, it's gonna do a ton of damage.
There is a Colossus out for Chad, but yeah, I mean, I guess we'll see what happens. I mean, Major looks like he's going up to do exactly what you
seem ready to talk every time I stop talking. Do you not know how casting goes? You think in advance.
I'm just watching, okay? I'm just watching, okay?
You're not a spectator, you're a caster.
Can I appreciate that? I'm spectating right now, your wonderfulness. Wow, Observer gets sniped by the Raven here, just as Todd said. There you go.
Major pulls back a little bit. I think right now he's trying to get a good sense of where the unit's at and how much there is. Might go for the snipe on the third base though. I think he's gonna be able to get it.
And it looks like he is. Marines are stimmed. Force fields go down for Chad, but it's not quite enough to keep that third alive. Major boosting away. The factory's probably gonna go down, but Major got the snipe off, which is exactly what he was looking for. Didn't lose.
And you see now would be a good time to do what I said with the 4 medivacs and dropping into that natural. Because he has so much energy on the Raven. That's like one.
What is
you
it?
can do 1 PDD and 1 auto turret as well.
How much energy is a PDD?
100, I think.
100. So he'll almost have enough for 2 PDDs. Or do you think he would just drop an auto turret and a PDD? What do you think?
Yeah, I mean, usually, like, since there is only a few Stalkers, you just need 1 single PDD. So you could have a second one for later when he wants to do it again, or do 2 turrets. That would be fine as well. But the thing is now, he knows that this drop obviously not going to be stopped. Because he just scanned the third base and saw the units who are there. So he's gonna wanna hit this drop, make the Protoss pull back, and then attack the third base with the reinforcements.
Yep, and he's doing exactly as he said. The PDD is going up. The drop is in Chad's base. Looks like Major's gonna snipe the cannon immediately. Wasn't watching for a second, but the stem goes down. He's gonna try to snipe the Nexus. Another smaller army going into Chad's third. Definitely gonna snipe that third. Chad pulling his army up to his natural, trying everything he can to save that. I don't know if he's gonna be able to. Major trying to pull his units back, but he's not focusing the Nexus. He's not targeting the Nexus. And the Nexus is barely going to survive. The third does go down. That was a misplay by Major there. He definitely could have sniped that Nexus. Surprised to see him.
I don't think he cares all that much, to be honest, because he's on 5 barracks behind this. He has a sick production. Look at his third base. He's fully saturated. Yes. So.
And he was able to snipe Chad's third. Oh my! Oh, I thought Major was going back in again. But no.
Man, Minigun is in a lot of trouble. The only thing he's got going for him is the upgrades with the 2-2 and the blink. about to finish, but I don't think it's that important in this game against a Major who's gonna completely outproduce him. Oh, I think Major might have wanted to get a second starport, but since he lost his factory, with which he was just like kind of being done with, by the way, like he was just flying over the third base, he has to remake that. So right now he's remaking a factory to, I think, get a second starport behind this, which you need against many Colossus. I like the scan. He's always scanning, you know, to see exactly how much he's up against.
And we've got Major moving across the map. I guess he liked what he saw with that scan. Looks like he's going to try to go ahead and put pressure on that third again. Army supply is actually favoring Major very heavily at this point. He's got enough energy on this Raven for another PDD. Good number of Vikings. Chad sees it a little bit with the Observer, but that Observer is going to get sniped by the scan. I don't even know if he needed a scan. He might have been able to get it with just the Raven and the Vikings. But scans anyway.
Major, I think has enough, and he might have enough. I think he's going to go for the engagements. He has more PDDs. Oh, he's not using any. He uses one before the Raven dies. Take it away, Steven.
Yep, uses one before the Raven dies. We've got the Vikings trying to snipe the Colossus. One Colossus goes down. A second one might. Chad might bring it back. Chad doing a good job with the spells. Good force fields, good time warp. But I don't know if he's got enough. Those Stalkers need to get rid of that Viking, and they do. Major stemming some Marauders forward, trying to pick off these Colossus. Is able to get one. Not quite able to get the second one. Trying to work down that third.
Chad's mic, beautiful this fight.
Very good.
So many of those Vikings with his Stalkers, and
at the end of snipes that last medevac too. Nice hold by Chad there. That was very good control on the Colossus. Very good control with the time warps and the force fields. Managing both those spells at once. As much as we like to make fun of Protoss players for just hotkeys everything on one thing, managing both those spells at once and casting them well can actually be pretty difficult to do, especially when you're trying to, you know, blanket snipe Vikings in the middle of the battle. So
it takes pressing tab actually. That's very hard.
Good control by Chad there. Shields on these Colossus are regenerating. Major's coming for a second attack. One Viking goes down immediately. Or I'm sorry, one Colossus. Second Colossus sniped. Chad with no more AoE on the ground. A decent number of Stalkers and Charge Lots though. Able to snipe almost all the medevacs. Only one medevac remaining there. The upgrades here being very important. If Protoss doesn't have AoE on the ground, I think at that point the upgrades become like really important. Because if you're down in upgrades there, oh my god, your units are they're just gone immediately. Like you just die so fast.
The last attack, I'm not sure was that good, but since Major kept his Vikings back at home, that's why he was held so convincingly by Minigun. So behind this, he's got quite a few Vikings. He's now on 2 starports, like I talked about before. He's got a lot of barracks to be able to produce a lot. So I think if he just hits the timing, now that he's 2-2 against 2-2, while he's getting his +3 and taking a force base, even if he again loses that fight, he keeps on trading well enough, make sure the Colossus can't stay slow. He might be able to either end the game or put Minigun far enough behind that he's never going to be able to take a fourth base, which is what you want. That's natural though. Still very exposed. Only one cannon there. A single medivac is going to drop some units. And there's nothing nearby for Minigun.
It doesn't look like it. If Major stems here, I don't know if a Warpin would be enough to save it. He's going for the cannon. I think he could have ran to the left and caught the Nexus. Maybe? I don't know if that would fit or not. Pulling probes against Marine Marauder is something you'd never want to do, really. I don't know if that defense was worth it.
I think Minigun very well knows that this is a drop to bring the army out of position so that it can be attacked at the third base. The Vikings trying to... They get a very big volley here on that Colossus, dropping
his shields almost completely. And that drop is picked up in the base by Minigun. Minigun didn't pull his whole army back to deal with it too, which is good. Well, I mean, obviously you wouldn't expect a player to, but... Looks like we got another big engagement from Major. The splits are pretty good. The Vikings are a little bit late getting in, but they are starting to try to work down a Colossus. Not focus firing one. He didn't focus fire one. That was really poor control by Major there. Minigun taking that fight in convincing fashion. No Vikings left to deal with the Colossus. Major cannot fight that army without Vikings. 3 Colossus in the back is just way too much to deal with.
Such sick control with the Stalkers and these Vikings. Major not paying enough attention to the Concave and those Vikings. He could have kept them above his army. It would have been so much harder.
Yeah, and he didn't.
He snipe them.
He split his fire on the Colossus too. I think both were empty on shields instead of killing one. I think that was a pretty bad control there too. So those shields were generating. Minigun not losing any of those big Colossus, which are so important in these fights. Yeah. Major trying.
Look at the upgrades. Major's gonna have +3 attack on infantry and +2 on the Vikings.
Very true, which is very good. But I mean, the Viking count is so scary right now.
This is all in here by Minigun, and he's getting the Archons, which are gonna be nice, but that might be enough for Major, who might have to pull the boys.
And he does. He pulls the SCVs. We see the Archons trying to get out front there. The Stalkers trying to blink forward to snipe the Vikings. They are being targeted down. Major doing a really bad job at focus firing. Still manages to kill 1 and 2 Colossus. The third Colossus going down soon. Lots left on the ground here for Major. It doesn't look like Minigun's got enough to punch through here. Minigun losing all of his big gas units there. Major finally able to push him back. Minigun in his terrible terrible spot now.
That Colossus was attacking a starport the entire fight, man.
Was it what?
That's sad. He was attacking the starport of Major instead of attacking the army. It was like it stayed back, so it was basically on A move, is what I'm saying.
Oh, sure.
And that's a big problem. Big Doom drop is gonna hit the natural with 3 medivacs, and I think Major should be able to close this out with a massive attack on the third base. Actually, there isn't that much there, but the production that he has behind is so scary, and his economy has basically been untouched the entire game, or like not much.
I mean, if you look at the workers killed. Oh wait,
yeah,
that's because he just pulled. Yeah, we do have the big drop going on at Minigun's natural. Minigun does not have units in place here to deal with this. That natural is definitely gonna fall. Trying to pull back his army to deal with it. Major actually doesn't have anything in position to attack the third, which is surprising. Yeah. But I mean, he manages to take out the natural.
Minigun's gonna go back to defend this, but then look, I was gonna say Major's gonna probably drop on top of this Nexus here. Actually, those Stalkers.
Good. It was a good blink by Minigun to try to kill the medivacs. He managed to take out 2, but I mean, he loses the 4 or 5 Stalkers in the process. This 4th is probably, well, 4th, 3rd, natural. I don't know what to call it at this point. This base is definitely gonna get sniped. I guess you'd call it the 4th. Major moving his whole army in position to take out the 3rd. Probably gonna pick this. Oh, I guess he can't pick the whole army up and go drop again. Oh, Minigun looking to engage here. Manages to take out the Vikings, which is nice. 3 Colossus left alive. I don't think Major has enough here to close this out. Oh, I don't know. Minigun retreating. 3 Colossus.
The thing is, he has to steal all the time, and since he was making so many Vikings, he doesn't have much energy on the minivacs. So you see, they cannot heal the entire army.
Yep.
That's why he's having a really hard time closing this out. But realistically, if you look at the income,
yeah,
he's not even close anymore.
Definitely ahead, yeah, for sure. The supplies, though, not as far apart as they could be.
You think Chad maybe can all in and win it? Because that's 4 Colossus plus a bunch of Stalkers. He's gonna go for another wave. He's proxying a pylon. Chad is going for wave 2.
There's a lot of Zealots on the ground this time. I love Zealots. They're so good. Zealots are so good. Charge lots are so good against Terran. However,
attack the starport this time.
Yeah, the upgrades though definitely favoring Major at this point.
The boys. Oh, he doesn't have that many medivacs, so much energy. Major maybe oversteaming here a little bit.
The Vikings not doing a good job at focusing down the Colossus. Not actually focus firing at all, although he does manage to take one down. It looks like another one is about to go down soon.
What the hell? These Colossus were pulled back with low hit points.
Yeah, but...
And they lost their shield. If he lets that regenerate, Minigun has really made the most of his army here.
For sure, a couple more Stalkers being warped in. Minigun needs a way to deal with those Vikings. Just 1 Archon and 3 Stalkers on the ground. Not as much as you'd like to see. We are seeing the power of Protoss right here. For sure. I mean, Minigun on like 2 bases, like 1.5 bases right now, right? Has he ever even mind gassed on the 3rd? One Colossus goes down, looks like a second one is about to get sniped by the Vikings, and Minigun finally calls the GG there. Putting up a huge fight all the way to the end. I mean,
really good micro. You could tell the Major was doing everything better than Minigun, except the micro in those big fights.
Yeah, for sure. Minigun control, which is, but I mean, to be fair, that's kind of what Major's known for, huh? I mean, Major's a really sick macro player, but his control actually isn't the best. If he likes to copy Korean so much, I wish that he would watch, I don't know, 4GG or somebody who plays more aggressively, but to maybe figure out those control issues, because Major does suffer. If Major could actually like improve his micro significantly, Major would be like an amazing, like, almost unstoppable, because his macro play is so good. It kind of hurts sometimes to see him suffer on the microphone a little bit, but I mean, his macro was so good that game. His strategy, his drops, his multi-prong harass, he was able to pull it out there at the very end. I mean, he was ahead the whole game. So what do you think? Do you think Minigun has a chance?
Yeah, definitely. I mean, he shows some good things this game. I feel like it's very hard to play against this Raven build the first time you play against it. Lilbo also had a very hard time, even though he's super sick against Terran, and probably likes to play similarly to Minigun too. So you can use that one time, but then the second time the Protoss is definitely going to be a lot more ready. Then again, I think Major probably mixes it up on the next map a little bit more. And yeah, Chad, again, it really came down to that big first drop on the natural, and that did a lot. Like the initial harass wasn't that great, didn't kill too many walkers, and Chad's defense was good enough.
For sure. Waiting for wonderful admin to host the next game. It's his first time, okay? He's bilingual, he can type in Hangul. Alright, he's a good guy.
After 2 minutes of silence, he just said, next set, Paul versus Jon Snow.
Listen, he's getting ready ahead of time, alright? That's good. Calm him down, okay?
Steven, I hate you.
I would like to shout out Pazanand from the Reddit thread, who types, "Couldn't Todd have at least dressed formally for the occasion? He looks fucking disgusting." Wow, Todd.
We're almost at 12K viewers, actually.
Wow, nice job, guys. Make sure you tweet. Make sure you tell your mom and dad. Guys, if all of you tell your mom and dad, assuming you're all from non-broken families, not that there's anything wrong with that, we could theoretically triple our viewership right now if everybody told their mom and dad to turn the stream on.
Yeah, but they would watch on the same PC, you dummy.
No, why would they watch on the same PC?
Yeah, because that's what families do. You will not.
All
you
gather
not,
around. Well, make sure you open 3-tab. Guys, if you're watching, guys, can we be real now? If you really appreciate esports,
You're
if
not
you got,
even
like,
playing ads.
If you're but I just the viewership number makes me feel better about myself. I can sleep easier at night.
God damn it.
There was this girl that I bet whether or not like I would get laid if I could get like a certain amount of viewers. So I'm really trying to hit that number. I'm just kidding. Anyway.
Chat with Destro as well.
We're
This one guy wrote-
my admin was doing vetoes for the next set. He didn't know. Anyway, we're about to hop into game 2 real fast. Don't worry, guys. If you guys are in my main chat and you're wondering like, God, why is Destiny such a Nazi? Like, this is what Day9 does. He puts his chat on sub only and no one's even talking. Like, does Destiny really, like, can he really live with himself like this? Hop on over to destiny.gg/big screen and hop into that chat. Why? Because that chat's freaking awesome. It's made out of WebSockets, HTML5, no Flash here, none of the tyrannical Java overlords to rule us and tell us how to run our applications. It's clean. There are tons of features. There's tons of awesome people. Over Russell, Base God, no tears. Yeah, you guys should check that out. I really like my chat system. Put together by, I want to say his name is Stanpet, but I don't actually know how to pronounce his shit. But he's a cool dude. Website put together by another cool dude.
This one guy
Yeah?
on Reddit wrote, "I'm extremely impressed by how freaking organized Destiny has been leading up to the tournament. Bigs up, man. Hope everything runs as silky smooth as you're planning." Okay, planning maybe, but you've definitely not been watching without sound because Destiny had nothing prepared for like the sponsorship and stuff.
It just
and then
slipped my mind. You don't get nervous.
comment behind this-
We can't all like be like major stars like you know? Who are ready to walk in.
But wait. This leads to the next comment. This guy replied.
Wait, let me guess. Is it about me being
wearing
away?
a wife beater and a hangover?
Oh.
And this one guy wrote, "If you are looking for the French professionalism, you are looking in the wrong place." Well, thanks, guys. I'm glad that I joined this tournament to cast some games.
That's what the French stream is for, right?
Yeah. God damn it, Steven.
So anyway, we are
we're only in the third match of 6 games of today.
That's okay.
And almost 3 hours in.
We're 3 hours in, really?
No, almost. We started at 4. Yeah, 4 my
well,
time.
It's the first day, okay? It's a little bit rough around the edges, right? We're working on it. Also, we had some pretty long games today. All those Stormhouse games, right?
Kappa.
Shut up, Nathanius. Let's go ahead and pick out a few of...
Wait until it casts tomorrow. You're going to see the real power of Kappa.
Let's pick out a few of our star comments from chat. That game was evidence that Terran is no-skill bullshit, even though he was outplayed the whole game by Chad Big Dick Jones and still won by A-clicking. Congratulations, chat. Nice job. Do we have any other A+?
Those are the viewers of Destiny, man. What do you expect? Actually, the overlay for the stream is pretty good. I watch with like the stream, like not in full screen, obviously.
Oh, watch when we go to intermission. The logo, it comes together, it goes whoosh. For the intermission video, it's so sick.
So the first one is drawn as the wooden watch, and then breaking out is the show.
Uh-huh.
What's video game voters? Like you talk about it, like you made that joke like 4 times about people not being old enough yet.
Video game voters is it's like a mailing list that brings to your attention whenever there's legislation involved that has to do with video game stuff. So like let's say that legislation comes up where somebody's like, I want to ban all shooter games because Grand Theft Auto turns kids into murderers. They would send you an email saying like, hey, this is going to be on like the ballot or whatever. So could you please contact your congressman or whatever and write to them and tell them like, hey, like you know, it's just to make gamers aware of legislation that could impact them.
But it's only for Americans.
But I mean,
you don't know. Why do I even ask?
Well, no, it is. I mean, you can't. Why would you go on a mailing list and get legislation for like? By the way, like in Cambodia tomorrow, they might outlaw.
And Let's Kung Fu is what exactly again?
And let's what? Oh, Let's
That's
Kung
cool.
Fu. Let's Kung Fu is a guy who is pretty much trying to put together like show matches, interviews. The way that he described it is he kind of wants to be like a mini Day 9. Like he wants to put together a whole bunch of cool content for people to look at. If you go to his Facebook, you can follow like the interviews and the videos that he does and any show matches that he hosts. He'll have information about that there. Guys,
So
Destiny.
Facebook is the main place to follow this guy, or
Yeah,
YouTube?
if you go to i.destiny.gg, you'll see all the links down there that people want you to follow him at. You can go down there and check it out, and that'll give you even more information about the individuals. Hopping
Yeah, I
into
did not get an invite for the game, by the way.
really.
Did you start the game? I knew this was gonna happen at some point.
Listen, this is the first time.
But I didn't think so. I've been warning you about this ref guy. He's not been inviting me in any of the games.
I mean, let's be fair. Like, I wouldn't. I don't think I would invite you either. Like,
Can you? Did you not tell this guy I'm casting as well? He seems to think I'm like this random guy who's trying to get into games.
the problem was that last game, I messaged him. I said, make sure no more racists get in. So he probably just didn't invite you because he assumed I was talking about you instead of the other guy.
Oh, okay. Sure. So do you cast without me? What happens? You remake?
Yeah, we're remaking. We would never leave you.
Can I write the comments about the guy forgetting me?
No! He's a nice guy, okay? He's young. He's probably nervous. He's working his shit, okay?
God damn it, Steven. How could you not realize I was not in there too? You're really letting me down big
I'm
time
sorry,
here.
Todd.
Okay,
Don't
I
worry.
accept your apology, but if you make sure it doesn't happen again. What was
So,
the next map, actually?
Overgrowth.
Okay. One of these standard maps, I guess you could say, because it's been around for some time.
For sure. And it feels like what does it feel like? What was the map? Ohana? It kind of feels like that a little bit, do you think? Or no?
Yeah,
Yeah.
a little bit, yeah.
I mean, you've got
You
like,
have, like-
the third that you take is like right next to your shit, and then the
Yeah.
fourth is like out to the side, kind of like. I think there were quite a few maps that kind of had like that Ohana feel. No.
Yeah, there used to be a time where like no maps had like bases where you could hide stuff in the back of your base and actually not have it seen, because like it will be like the very edge of the map, like no overlords will be able to fly in. Whereas now there is so many of those like that.
Yeah.
That's why Protoss winning everything. What, nothing to say?
No. Just,
Yeah, other races have been doing better, man. Bunny won a tournament
yeah, that
Zerg-
was really
as well.
good work
Third
on
one DreamHack.
good work on Bunny there. Congratulations, right?
Yes. Okay, still waiting for an invite. And Major is messaging me. Man.
Wants to know if he can sleep.
Now he's AFK, and then he made his smiley, where like a faceless smiley, just did two eyes. Major is, I don't know what happened with Major, man. Out of nowhere, like he started just crushing nerds left and right, no matter who. Koreans as well.
I mean,
He
he's
always
always,
had,
he's always in good.
Yeah.
He just doesn't play tournaments enough. I don't know.
No. Before, like in tournaments, he was always like beating one Korean or two. And then that was it. Like, you know, he was beating, say, like Teja or something in the first match of his WCS group, but then losing in the rematch, which was the qualifying match. Maybe that's why actually you were Russell and you wanted to make round robin for this thing. But like now, he's really like taking names left and right, and he's playing more impressive than he ever has been before.
Sure.
He basically made Mexico gets runner-up in the Nation Wars all by himself. Well, I don't want to disrespect the other players, but he scored most of the points. He all killed France, dude, in Paris.
Yeah, I mean, Major. Yeah, so I guess basically just playing more consistently lately. He's always been pretty good, but yeah, I guess the lack of consistency, or you just beat one guy and then kind of fizzle out. So yeah, it's good to see. Rick and Polt. See how far he goes in the round of 8 if he actually makes it that far. If he can manage to beat Minigun here.
So you're coming to Detroit for sure, by the way?
I never said that. I'm thinking about it. Okay.
What does that mean? Are you gonna play my qualifier or not?
It depends on who else. Well, you said Cats was there. I can't be a cat, so why would I even bother?
You might not meet him. You could meet like somebody else could beat him, and then you beat that somebody.
Oh, that's right.
Sorry about that. Do you hear the racetrack?
What's that in the background?
Okay, you don't hear the racetrack anymore?
Oh, it's a
'Cause, like,
racetrack.
Yeah, remember last time when we played Daisy, like my mic was catching every sound, and since I live
Oh,
like next
yeah.
to You hear all the bikes.
Uh-oh. Major playing versus... Hunky's working on it. Don't worry, guys. We're about to jump into this game. I swear to God.
Are you starting to feel what I've been talking about with the ref?
No,
being a little
he's
bit-
working. Tomorrow will be even better, okay? This is his first try, right? He's been doing all the
Okay.
translating for me. He's been working hard, all right?
You stand by him no matter
I
what.
stand by him.
That's very noble of you, but I guess you don't really have a choice. That's the only reason. He's saying my bad. Poor guy.
All right.
I say, haha, it's okay, when it's really not. I'm just kidding, he's probably listening. Okay, overgrowth for a PVT here. I expect some sort of similar play out of both. I mean, Minigun not really known to go all too crazy and wild with like proxy stargates and all that. So even if he was to do one, it'd probably just be for an Oracle into regular Colossus deck. Whereas Major, again, also likes to expand a lot, likes to play fairly standard, doesn't all in much at all. Sometimes likes to throw in a special build here and there, but usually not something like a 2-Rax.
Do you see as many Oracle builds these days? It seems like Terrans have gotten so good at like defending against that. Do you still see a lot of them?
No. And it's the same thing with Medivacs. Like early game aggressions or Medivacs have gotten so much weaker because Protoss are really good at defending. So now the next meta is like mid-game big Medivac drops with like 4
Gotcha.
introductions even.
All right.
Come on, make them